You just heard me say hi. You didn't hear me say hi. You heard legitimately me or you didn't hear anything. You watched me say hi. And, yeah, I'm a fool because I honestly thought you could hear me. You could not. So, we're gonna shrink my face way back down over here. Good. We're gonna open up this one here. Hopefully, it cues up the way it's supposed to. I'm gonna be real, chat. I'm gonna be real. I am working on stuff. Here we go. What's up? Yay. Allow me. Let's go ahead and turn this off right quick because I don't want you guys to see the giveaway stuff that I'm doing. So I'm going to open this. We'll close that out. This good, that good. Yes. Yay. You can now see this. Yay. Man. My nose says oof. Just big ol' oof. This can stay here. I'd like to be able to see you guys. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Boom. Set this over here so you guys can see it nice and clearly. Good. Boom. We're gonna bring this over here. Yay. We'll close that out. Turn this on so I can see chat because I'm unable to see chat at the moment. My nose is stuffed. I don't know why my nose is stuffed. I don't know why I was sneezing right there. That was weird. So, I'm not even going to start it like that. Because I don't know what I'm talking about aside from what I've learned. I'm still, like, figuring stuff out. So, I have on this chart times marked out. This right here should be Asian session, London session, New York session, right? This is for day trading. I'm learning how to not only read this, but also implement it. And I am very late in the day, as in, like, market closed. It has closed, right? Um, so I am learning this. This right here would be Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have this set up wrong? I think I have it set up wrong, maybe backwards. I don't think I have it set up wrong. I think this is correct because this is 8 a.m. and this is Thursday into Friday right here. And that's 12 a.m. Friday. So I think this is correct. Through the night, Asian session will be a thing. And right here at 4 a.m. is when London session will open. And then this here at 8 a.m. is when New York session will open. My goal is to figure out how exactly to go about this. Is this okay? Yes, it is. Cool. So, come on. You up. I'd like to see my chat now. I will be right back, chat. I've got to go take care of something. Sorry about that, chat. Had to situate stuff. Let's go ahead and lock that there so it's not moving. I'm not going to adjust the window size either. Just so we're on the same page. Like all of that stays there. I'm not gonna bother changing it. This is so I could see chat. Yeah. Okay, that's the thing. I'm gonna maximize this. Add a tab. Go to YouTube. Yeah. You're going here. We're going here. Come on. Good. Good. Okay. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, man. I have to change that category on Twitch right quick. Stream manager. Edit stream info. I'll back out of this. Go to this. How do I do this? Let's do just chatting. Just cause. Because I'm going to be honest here. I am really new to this, and most of it's going to be just chatting. So, yeah. Yeah, for the most part. Boom. It changed. Yay. This is the thing. I need to pop out of this. Open up. I'll minimize you. I'm gonna close out of you. Open you up. And then I'm gonna throw that onto this. And yeah. Oh no, OBS needs an update. Okay, that one's updating, so I have to wait on that. But yeah, what am I doing? I'm learning how to day trade. I'm doing this very, very late on a Thursday night, and we're going into Friday, right? Not Saturday, but Friday. Yeah. We have marked out session opens, Asian, London, New York. Per the strategies I've been learning from TJR, he said to go out ahead and mark out sessions high and lows, and for each one cross, take the highest one per the trend and go ahead and delete those. Right? Something like that. Maybe. Let's go ahead and launch that. I was playing a game, then I lost interest. Because life came around, smacked me in the face. It really didn't copy. It's baloney. Hot, sweaty baloney cheeks is what that is. Back out of you. Paste. Apply. Good. I can see chat from both now. Hi, chats. How you doing? I'm probably the only person viewing myself. So let's go ahead and do this. Just click on that, and then we'll just close out of this, close out of that. Keep that nice and fresh. Boom. So we're looking at two charts. S&P 500, NASDAQ. Specifically these two. Only these two. Nothing else. Right? So what I was doing was learning from TJR off of his most recent video. Right? That was per the 5-hour long video he did. And I am learning slowly. Right? Where I got to, I know how to mark out highs and lows. I know what they are. I'll be honest, I'm more interested in figuring out, remembering what breaker blocks are. Like rewatching that video maybe 4 or 5 times just to figure that out, because watching that video the first time made me realize I need to delete a lot of this, because there is so much in this that it's like, okay, I thought I had a reasonable gist. And even looking at this right here, like all of this compared to what he had, yeah. Yeah. So I want to delete these two specifically. I want to take this and I want to backspace that. I want to take this and I want to press enter on that. Boom. Now that these are pretty much squared away. Oh, that's because it's collapsed. It's like that. Okay. So with that being the case, I need to bring this back down here. So I like how he did it earlier. One moment. I am trying to remember his strategy specifically. I remember on the per what he had wrote down, it was take confluences from the 1 hour and the 4 hour, right? Mark the highs and lows. And then from there, mark session highs and lows on the 30-minute. And then from there, why that's the way it is. Yikes. Mute. As soon as I click on the video, I get an ad. It's a good thing I muted it when I did, because that would have been very annoying. Go away. Boom. I like what he has wrote there. Mark key levels on the 1 hour and 4. Look for a liquidity sweep on the 1 hour and 4 hour. And mark out session highs and lows on the 30-minute. So let's just do that. I'm going to push this in, so I'm not tempted to press play on that. Let's go from here all the way down to the 4 hour. I know y'all heard that pane go off. Be USB HUD I have installed on my computer. Opening 7 different pages. File Explorer, which I don't need at the moment. Okay, so going for 1 hour. We're starting on the 4 hour. Keep things good and simple. Boom, boom, 4 hour, boom. Before we even get to this, though, we need to recognize what trend we're in. Right now, we are in a steep downtrend. So if I wanted to take a trade at all Friday, I'd be looking for a short position. I'd sell and then buy low, sell high, right? With that being the case, we're on the 4 hour still. Boom. We're gonna look at the S&P 500 just to keep things simple. What are we looking for? Well, for this, key levels. That's inverse fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. We're looking for breaker blocks, order blocks. Is that what we're looking for? I think that's what we're looking for. Could be wrong. We're going to do this so I can get a nice, crisp picture. Where's the rectangle? I always forget where it is. It's this thing right here. Boom. You got fair value gap way up here. Don't think it's going to go up there all the way. No, not really. Why? Because this is on the 4 hour. Each block represents a 4 hour thing. There's 6 candles in a single, or 6 candles? 6 candles in a single day. Yeah. And there are 3 sessions per those, so we're not looking for stuff way back here. But we are looking for stuff a little bit closer. Just a little bit. I think this right here was our breaker, a breaker block, and then this right here was the official order block. Liquidity sweep here. Is that correct? Am I right in saying that, chat? I should be looking at the bottom side, not the top side, because we're looking for not change in trend, but confluences that it's going to continue down, right? That's what we're looking for. For the 4 hour, attempt to say this right here is our liquidity sweep. This would be the breaker block. This would be the order block here that came down. Because this right here would have been the fair value gap. I'm going to move this down because it's not needed up there anymore. Boom. Boom. This right here would have been the fair value gap we would have needed for today, I think. We can see it got hit. Price moved down. Whether that be a 5-minute break of structure, a 5-minute inverse fair value gap, or a 5-minute SMT divergence. Once that happened, have a step up, okay? Danny Braun and say, yo, bro, what the fuck? You suck at basketball. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking scammer. Before he gets any further, let's go ahead and see what I can do on my own. Because I'm confident in marking highs and lows throughout all of this. It's finding within those highs and lows fair value gaps that are valid, right? For instance, right here would be our high, right? This is an up down, so high. And then we're looking for a down up. This would be our low. From here, within this fair value gap, we have within that high and this low, we have one fair value gap, we have two, we have three. Let's go ahead and mark all these out. I'd like to mark each and every one of these, because we know the one we have down below is currently been tapped into. I believe this is what's called a respected fair value gap. Liquidity came up in and cleared this fair value gap, and as a result, it was a sign of continuation that price would continue moving lower. What we're looking for from this, if I'm not mistaken, is a disrespected fair value gap where price goes up and above this, right? We'll also see a break of structure within the session, within this week worth of session. So, that being said, let's go ahead and continue marking these fair value gaps just because. Is price going to move all the way up here? I don't think so. Why? Why don't I think so? Because this is covering about 2 weeks worth. You want to talk about all the way over here? That's about 3 weeks worth of candles, if I had to guess. Right? With that being the case, price isn't going to move up just because we want to. I think it's going to continue moving down. How do I know it's going to? How do I know it's going to continue moving down? Because this right here is the sign of confirmation that it's going to continue moving down. Liquidity having that balance. We're looking for an imbalance now that would signal a rise, a break of structure. Okay. I think we've covered the fair value gaps. We've got 3 of them right here. One was respected, put into, and boom. For me to look at any of this on the this is the 4 hour now, right? This is number 4. For me to say I want to take a trade on the 4 hour, I would need to see a candle closure above one of these disrespected. This would signal that the price is moving higher, and it'll be a large candle moving up, and it'll be continue moving upwards. Pretty sure I think he goes over inverse fair value gaps. He goes over inverse fair value gaps. He actually makes that like abundantly clear in his video. My thing is though, because I was watching that video at 6 a.m. in the morning and I broke it up 1 part, 2 part, because I got that sleepy. I want to know if he does all of it on the 5 minute. None of it on the 1 hour, none of it on the 4 hour. Just draws on liquidity for the 4 hour, specifically looking for value gaps within the 4 hour. Looking at this right here. within the 4 hour. No fair value gap there. No fair value gap there. None there, none there. Nope, none there. Dang. I think the closest we're gonna get are these up here for the fair value gaps, which means price is drawn to these imbalances up here. We cleared one, but it was respected, and price is going to continue moving down, which means we need to be looking for a large candlestick going down, which will signal another imbalance. At that point, we can go ahead and assume that price is going to come back up. From that, we're just looking for a breaker block, order block, and then the liquidity sweep, and then from there we can assume that's good. I believe that's how he explains it. With that being said, I'm going to keep these visible just because this is where our fair value gaps are. I'm not seeing any in this. That one right there was cleared. That had a closure below, which means it kept going. Okay. I think I've done pretty good so far. I think I've done good. I know I've done good because these are without a doubt fair value gaps that have not been cleared. These two haven't. This one has. Did NASDAQ do the same thing? Because we are supposed to be looking at both. So we're going to run rectangles there. We have a fair value gap here that was gone into. This is the same fair value gap, mind you. So there is a difference. And one chart closes, but the other doesn't. I believe that's what's called an SMT. Boom. Good. Okay. I believe this is what's called an SMT here because price came up, right? And it still came up again. It came right? This came up again. Okay. The candle did not close above the fair value gap, so it was duly respected by both charts. Keeping that there, keeping it simple. It was closed under both charts. It played a little on this one, but this one did not. It continued moving down. What does that say about NASDAQ? I believe the NASDAQ is where it's lagging at the moment. It is behind. Because this says it wants to keep going down. This right here is saying, no, we want to go up. I believe I said it backwards the first time. I think it's the S&P 500 that's lagging because it's in a steady trend going down, but this says I want to move up. So what I think is going to happen and what I should be preparing for is a trade on the S&P 500 with the low prices that we have on it, right? And from there, we want to telegraph what's going to happen on NASDAQ because NASDAQ is saying we want to go higher. Though they were both respected, this was played into a little bit more. So I want to see price come up and in this range again, and it would need to respect it a second time. We also have right here, boom, not a liquidity sweep, but an equal low. a retest, a respected low here. So we're looking for a break of structure. I believe this would have been the break of structure because that's a higher low. There. And then from there, we're looking for something to confirm. Yeah. That would be liquidity. It coming down and testing this again. So right now we are looking for a break. We have break of structure. We're waiting for it to close above this. That's what we're waiting on. I think tomorrow. It won't move up that high tomorrow. If I had to guess, if I had to, what do I mean? I am guessing at this because I'm looking at a strategy, a solid strat that has worked before and can work for me. Right? Looking at it going, this makes sense. I'm looking at my chart. I can see the lag. We're still on the 4-hour, by the way. Just keeping that in mind. Right? So it should be the S&P 500 we're taking a trade on because it's the one lagging behind NASDAQ. So it would be smart to do this here. But again, let me stop myself. I need to stop myself because I see liquidity now. This is continuing to go down. This right here has it hasn't tested it. We have a break of structure on the NASDAQ, which implicates there will be a break of structure over here. From that point, we're looking for a liquidity sweep. Boom. It should be like in this somewhere. It'll dip lower, confirming this. Then it should go higher. Or actually, lower, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so from here, let's scale down. Well, let's do this. We'll delete all of these because I don't want to confuse myself anymore. I like to do things slow. Keeps things in perspective. This right here makes no sense. That right there makes no sense. And I didn't do anything else. Woo. Okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Let's bring it down to an hour. Boom. Let's bring it down to an hour. Nope, not 2 hours. The other one. The one that says 1. There we go. Yay. We're down to the hour time frame. Woo. Boom. Yay. Alright, from here. Session highs, session lows, if I'm not mistaken. Key levels were for our look for liquidity, sessions highs, sessions lows. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that now. Boom. Boom. Let's go here. Boom. Not that one. That one. Because I like these ones more. I like horizontal array. From here we want, this is Asian session. Look for a high, up, down. Boom. This would be the high right here. Look for a low, down, up, low there. Good. We're looking for London's high. Up, down, high would be there. Looking for a low, down, up, low, there. We're looking for the highest highs in the session and the lowest low in the session, just so we're on the same page. And that's taken care of. We go to New York session. It's this right here. When we begin to take a trade, we won't be within New York session. We won't be doing this right here. We'll be learning and taking a trade off of this right here. We'll be marking out this right here instead. I think that's fairly okay, fairly accurate ish. Something like that. If I'm not mistaken, we'll be in this going into this. So allow me to look and see and watch more of his video.
Trade from 9:50 to 10:30. I know you're probably thinking, damn, that's not much time to trade. I know we're going to be on the market before that, ideally 30 minutes before market open, so we can see and react to prices and whatever. We're not just getting onto the charts 20 minutes into market open. No, we're getting onto the charts 30 minutes before market opens, maybe even an hour before market opens. Ideally, it's an hour before market opens if you guys are just getting into this. But we're looking to take our trade from between 9:50 and 10. And then for Forex, so New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Pre-market for New York Stock Exchange opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's for indexes, like stocks and stuff. And again, I trade indexes, which is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. But for people who are trading Forex, so let's say you want to trade like GBP USD or Euro USD during New York session, because that's what works for you guys, 8 a.m. Eastern Time to 10 a.m. Eastern Time are going to be your guys' times to trade. Okay? That's Forex. A good question is, how do I get started trading? A better question is, how do I drop it today? London session opens at 3 a.m. All of this is done in Eastern Time. And I want to keep it as Eastern Time because I operate based. I'm not even on Eastern Time right now. I'm in Puerto Rico. Eastern Time, but I'm fully like my entire brain schedule operates off of Eastern Time because that's how the market's on. So London session opens at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and ideally you guys find your trade between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. I highly recommend you guys don't take any trades after 4 a.m. on London session. Same thing here on New York session. You guys can't find a trade after 10:30. Me personally, I would avoid trading for that entire day. Forex, same thing. You guys can't find a trade from 8 to 10 a.m.
So, general rule of thumb, I have a time limit between 9:50 and 10:30 to take a trade. That is to buy and that is to sell, or that is to sell and to buy, to enter and to exit, right? The goal is to find an entry point within that time frame between 9:50 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. My wake up time should be around 9ish, 8 a.m. So that way I get the best deal on the best gist, right? From there, it's just a matter of heading into the trade and then putting the take profits where they are. When they're hit, exit market, or actually take off 50% of what I put in or what I have in, and then let it ride out until I hit more take profits. And then from there, just until done.
First thing that we're waiting for is for price to hit a key level. When price hits a key level, whether it's a 1 hour high, 4 hour high, 1 hour low, 4 hour low, a London session's high, London session's low, Asian session's high, Asian session's low, previous day's high, previous day low, whatever it may be. Maybe a 1 hour rally gap, maybe a 4 hour rally, whatever it may be. We are waiting for price to hit these key levels. Then following that, we are going to scale down to the
I said that wrong. I said that completely wrong. So I said there were 6 candles. If we were on the 4-hour time frame, right? There'd be 6 candles in the day. Except market isn't open 24/7. In fact, it's divided, very much so divided by the nation, by which one's which. So we have legitimately this little section right here to work with, and then we have open, right, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That would be market close right there. In between this right here is Australian session, and then from here it's Asian session again. So so I said that completely wrong if that's the case. Yes, each one of these candles represents 4 hours. Yes, one of these candles represents an hour right now because we're on the hourly time frame. But realistically speaking, there should only be 2 candles. 1, 2 that we can count right here. That's all we got from this. And per the day, it'd be this bunch right here that we're looking at. Relative, like from here to there, from there to about here. If I had to guess. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. It does. So he was saying mark out the previous day's highs and low. That's legitimately right here. That's also per the previous day right here. Boom. Right? We're not going to go past this at all. This is the previous day worth of price value. Where price went. Up, down, high, down, up, low. The highest for the day. That's every session on this day. Now that we've got that pretty much handled, taken care of, I believe move down into session time. Mark out highs and lows for each session, right? Well, we can't hardly see because it's 4 hours here. That's why he goes all the way down to the 30-minute, I think. This is me guessing at what he usually goes with, because on this little notepad he says 1 hour and 4 hour. Mark out session highs and lows, as well as look for liquidity, draws on liquidity, and the like. He goes all the way down to the 30 minutes to get a more in-depth view if he can't see anything on the 1 hour. Because, realistically speaking, he has all of this right here to work with, as well as the previous day's high and low, right? So, within this, he's divvying out what price might want to do. We're also looking for draws on liquidity, liquidity sweeps, the like. Draws on liquidity are highs and lows, right? And we can target previous lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We can also target the highs, all the way up here, all the way up there. This is a high. That's right there is a high. We can go all the way up there. But yeah, that's what he's working with. So I believe I've already done so, right? Because this is previous days. This is Asian session, high, low. London session, high. London session, low right there. Boom. I don't know why. What happened there? I'm confused. I'll confuse myself. I heard myself in my confusion. This right here. No, it'd be this right here. Down, up, low. Boom. No, don't restart. I'm working. Why would you want me to? So to find a low, you look up, down, and then highest point, and then to find a low is down, up, and then you find lowest point. Hey, buddy. Hi. How you doing? Hi. What's up, buddy? Oh, easy. You okay? You good? What's going on, buddy? Got you a cookie? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Bye-bye. 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 Crazy buddy. He just wanted to say hi. So, wrong keyboard. Marking out highs and lows specifically. We have Asian sessions high and low. We have London session high and low. That should be correct. For this, we want to look at New York session high and low. That's the highest point and lowest point of the two, and that is right here. Boom. As well as right here. Down, up, low. Boom. Yeah, I understand how he looks at his cursor now to determine how he can like manipulate it and get close so to where it like clicks over like that, so as to see exactly where he's putting it. That works quite well. I'm slowly learning, slowly. So with this being said, I think from here, I'm going to say it and then I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to implement it because learning curve. My understanding is if a low has been crossed, so let's say Asian session, here's your high, here's your low. We go to London session, high, low. It wasn't crossed. Because this is the lower low of these two, we're not looking for this. I can delete that. Because this is the higher high of these two, I'm not looking for this. I can delete that. Moving on to this. From Asian session high and low to New York session high and low. The high wasn't crossed, so I'm not looking for this high. Boom. The low was, so I'm not looking for Asian session low. Boom. This is the gap I'm trading within. That is my understanding. I think he correlates session high and low with daily high and low as well. But for the sake of knowing, for my sake of knowing, I am not going to change the way it looks. For my sake, we're going to keep the daily high, the previous day's high and low visible. So we can see where price was moving before, right? We know we're in a downtrend. That's not the point. It's a matter of knowing where price could go, right? At least that's what I think personally. This almost looks already like it's in a liquidity sweep because we dipped down here and then we also had this right here. It retested this. As a result, we got a sweep off of this, which means we might actually be going into an uptrend now. But at the same time, yeah, it came down. We had a break of structure to the upside right here. This would have been like 5-minute break of structure, something like that right here. I had to say, not 5-minute, because this is, each one of these is an hour. So we had an hourly break of structure in this. It came back down to retest. It confirmed it. We had a breaker block here. It came up. We got an order block off of this right here. We had a liquidity sweep here. Now it's going to shoot back up in the coming hours. So I imagine from Friday's price action, Asian session is going to dip down a little bit. From London session on, it'll probably continue going up. That's My genuine thought on the matter, that's a thought. It's not a guarantee. It's my idea. I think it's going to continue up. Backing up from that, though. Going back to this, because I'm supposed to be identifying the session highs and lows. We've done that. We've also identified the previous day high and low. We're also now looking at... What else are we looking at? Waiting for price to hit key level. Realistically speaking, I think it already has. Because we had down up, lowest point between the two, a low here. Down up, lowest point here. It technically retested it with this candle, this low here, and it dipped down as a liquidity sweep, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I believe it looks like a liquidity sweep on the 4 hour, does it not? No, it doesn't. So I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. I can say that, chat. I think I'm wrong. That's okay. That's the whole point of this. I'm just learning it. From here, I think I need to press play on his video and watch specifically. Because I know what a break of structure is. I know what a fair value gap is. The newest terms to me are the SMT, which makes sense when you think of it as the two charts that are really close to each other doing something different. That part makes sense to me. I know how to identify that. What I am having trouble identifying are inverse fair value gaps and breaker blocks. And he had a really good type up earlier in this same video of what inverse fair value gaps are and what breaker blocks are when trying to figure out what price wants to do and how to use them accurately. I want to find it again too, because that was like a really good type up. That spelt out almost all of the, not the building blocks, but the specific. These are individual breaker blocks. He's going over now. Breaker blocks. Building blocks. He's going over. I think that's it right there. Okay, I have an ad. Shut up. Stop. Let's do this. Notepad. I want to scroll down and make notes. Because all of what's above this is stuff I've learned over the past year from another YouTuber and him as well. This is a combination of the two of their stuffs to form a better representation on what I'm supposed to do. So, notes. Yes, it's the same thing he's typing. Why am I copying him? What do you do in school? I'm serious. What do you do in school? You write down what you're learning so as to retain the information for free. You write it down once, you get a little bit into it. This isn't a publication of someone else's knowledge. Well, I mean, he's already published it. I'm just learning it. I'm taking notes down as the instructor is instructing me to. He has given us permission to take down notes from his video. So, confirmation signs. Why did it do that? There it goes. Structure. Inverse fair value gap. And SMT. Not T. Not Y. T. There we go. Boom. Tab. Continuation. We have fair value gaps. Order blocks. Breaker blocks. And equilibrium. So I also know what equilibrium is.
every time I've tried to explain it, it's been wrong. I'm going to say this. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to click off of that. I'm going to go over here. I can't see the notepad anymore, chat. This is equilibrium. That's not equilibrium. Hot dog. Man, how fast I got that wrong. I think this right here. Boom. Yeah, this is equilibrium. Boom. So within a price range, right? It's a tool, a retracement tool. It is a tool to use, right? It is a tool to identify when price is going to move within this little margin here. And typically what happens when price bumps up into this margin right here, it is a sign, it is a indication that price is going to dip back down. That is what equilibrium is. And I believe he does a little bit more of an in-depth explanation of it. As for my sanity and purpose, poor buddy, he fell into something. I don't know what though. We're going to try and continue this. Poor buddy. So, for my sanity in explaining this, I believe that's actually got me distracted. Dang. It's just when price goes up into this blue area, or if we're in an uptrend, it'll come down into this white area here, right? And then from there, it'll either bounce back up, or in this case, it'll come up into the blue and then dip back down. And as you can see, we haven't come back up into blue area yet for the downtrend. Yeah. So with that being the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way back to where I was before. So he has a note that's kind of blocked by his own camera, right? His face cam, it's a little big, so when he's got that blockage there. I believe what he said was something. I can see two words, price action, and then right after that needs to be rebalanced out via a retrace. Price is balanced through imbalance, right? You spot an imbalance over here, right? Like a fair value gap or an inverse fair value gap, and as a result, price wants to fill that gap or move away from it. And as a result, that equilibrium I showed just before will indicate whether or not it's retracing off of that fair value gap. So that's that. I want to go back to this right here. I'm going to unmute him.
A 5-minute inverse fair value gap, or a 5-minute SMT divergence. Once that happens, are we entering? No, because that just means, okay, the trend has shifted. But we want to know for sure, and let me draw this out for you guys. So let's say we have our key level, and let's just say we want to take a short trade, and we push into our key level to the upside. And then we get a 5-minute break rejection. So this is where we're at.
So he said short trade, which means we're in a downtrend, right? That makes sense to me. And price moves back up into a key level. So we're looking at this right here. It moved back up into key level here. This is a low, right? But we don't want this low. We'd like to see it come up into this high right here. I imagine he takes whatever the closest is to the most recent low, and considers that the key level, right? Because we've already crossed into it, right? We're looking for the shift in trend, which I believe has occurred with this move up. As a result, or actually, per this candle right here, I believe that would be the shift of trend. Would that not? Would it not be? think this right here would be it, no? This candle, specifically? Because if this right here had closed above it, above this low, it would have continued moving down. But because it didn't, there's an imbalance. And as a result, price needed to move back up and close above. We got to close above this here, break of structure. So breaker block, order block, and then this right here would be the confirmation break of structure, which would tell me we're moving back up in an uptrend, if that is the correct way to go about that. He's saying, though, if we're in a downtrend, just like this one is right here, right, and we had price move back up into a key level, we would look for the breaker block, the order block, and then the confirmation. But this is, he has it drawn like it's in an uptrend, right? Comes down into a confluence area, kind of like this right here, where we have this right here, right? It came back down into this key level. We look for another candle and it to come back up and break structure off of that. Let's continue watching. I'm going to continue watching this video. How many ads? I get it, bro. I get it. 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 YouTube said, I want to give you all the ads today because you've seen this video 4 times. Yeah. Because I'd like to learn it. I want to rewind this a little bit.
Push into our key level to the upside. Boom. And then we get a 5-minute break structure. So this is where we're at right now. We're on the 5-minute, 5-minute in and uptrend up to that key level, obviously, right? It's a move up, get to that key level. And then we get a 5-minute break structure. After that, what's next in our process?
So he's saying in an uptrend, and he's looking to take a short trade, which means he's looking for a shift to the downside through a 5-minute break of structure. That means in an uptrend is making a new low, right? As a result, from that low, he's looking for his confluences. 5-minute fair value gap. Order block. Breaker block. So he marked it. He marked it out as break of structure first. So I'm using this as reference. He's using break of structure, so he formed a new lower high because he's in an uptrend, right? So it would be lower high than this. He said breaker block, which means at the top of the previous move over here, he's looking for a small breaker block over here, right? I need to relearn the terminology for that, and I know as soon as I go back to it, it's going to break my stuff. I'm gonna learn it, and then I'm gonna just immediately after this, I'm gonna figure this out. So breaker block, or not breaker block, break of structure occurs after the move up that he's referring to. Fair value gap, we've already gone over that. It's essentially what we discovered way up here. All 3 of these are fair value gaps on the 1 hour. And then, or not,
not the 1 hour, the 4 hour. This is 4 hour fair value gaps. That one has already been, yeah. What was the other thing? So the second we see price cross into any of the confluences we have before, right, on the 5 minute specifically. So we're still in the hour. Why am I talking about the 5 minute when I could be going to the 5 minute and just doing it there? Very good question. Very, 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 very good question. So I'm gonna say price has hit key level, right? It's got on 5 minute, wait for confirmation, break of structure, inverse fair value gap, or SMT. We're looking for all of that. Break of structure. We have break of structure on this candle right here. Actually, because that right there would be the high. Up, down, this would be the high of it. Boom. What we'd be looking for, because we're in a downtrend, but we just broke structure. I think this right here would be the inverse fair value gap. Because it filled almost immediately after, and price continued pushing up. Did we have, let's go down to 5 minute over here, just so we're on the same page. I'm gonna do this right here. Boom. That is not what I was after. There we go. Boom. 5 minute break of structure. Same gist. This is the inverse fair value gap. I'm having issues identifying break of structure. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to me how to find break of structure. When you have a high here and a low here, and then this right here closes above this, right? I guess it'd be this candle right here that we broke structure on. We had an inverse fair value gap, break of structure. We have not seen that right there is a large indication of break of structure right there. Because that, yeah, that closed above it. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. No SMT. None right here. Anyway. From this, wait for 5 minute continuation, fair value gap. From the inverse, from the break of structure, from the SMT, we're looking for a fair value gap to form, which would be this right here. I believe we have had one form. This would be the fair value gap, as well as the break of structure in the same gist, right? We're looking for a huge candle wick down, which we're waiting for it to close below this, I think. Order block, which I don't think we've achieved yet. Breaker block. I don't know. Liquidity sweep. Push higher. I'm going to keep watching, and then I'm going to rewind and figure out break of structure, order block, breaker block, and inverse fair value gap again. Why is crap going off on my computer?
Don't care about no update. Shut up and wait patiently.
Push into our key level to the upside. Boom. And then we get a 5-minute break of structure. So this is where we're at right now. We're on the 5 minute. The 5 minutes in an uptrend up to that key level, obviously, right? Because it needs to move up to get to that key level. And then we get a 5-minute break of structure. After that, what's next in our process? We're looking for either a 5-minute fair value gap, 5-minute order block, 5-minute breaker block, or 5-minute equilibrium for price to retrace.
So would that be what it is right there then? I'm flipping it. So he's saying break of structure on 5-minute. You have higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, right? Lower high equating to break of structure. Flip that because we are currently in a downtrend, right? Boom. Higher low here. Higher low there. We broke structure on this. Boom, boom. Or actually, right here, we broke structure on that because that's a higher low when we were on a downtrend, lower low. From there, shoot higher, right? From that low, we're also looking for fair value gap. Off of this, boom. I think price is going to tank back down into this right here. I also think I'm wrong.
Into once price goes into one of those confluences, we're going down.
Going back to what I was saying, flipping it completely. I'm looking for that specific gist. The break of structure. And I think I nailed it. I think it's this right here. This was our break of structure that we needed on the 5-minute. And from here we continue up. But he's also zoomed apparently. Like he's explaining it, I assume, candle by candle. Right? If that's the case, wouldn't it be this right here? Higher time frame holds higher confluence, holds higher power. So just because we're in an uptrend here does not mean we're not in a downtrend on the higher time frame, which we are still in a very much so downtrend. Like this is a brief break of structure right here, going up. For the hour, we're going up, but we're still in a downtrend. We're just, this is a retrace that we're in at the moment. Is that a fair value gap right there? Is that what I'm seeing, chat? This right here? From here to there. See what I'm saying? You see it, chat? I think that's a fair value gap right there. Because it does not matter, I don't think. It's an inverse fair value gap. Price came down, but it didn't close through this. So if I had to guess, I'm going to say price is going to come back down. Just because that has been formed and I was able to spot it on the hour. So from here, we go back down into the 5-minute. Boom. This is the hourly fair value gap here. believe it'd be right there. Does that make sense, chat? Makes sense to me. You make a sense. Kinda. Now,
Alright, so listen up. State Farm.
I legit have the video paused.
$1,533. And right now, prices mix. That open and close and show us one single pair that you want to look at. So if you say, I want to trade to keep things simple, when the market goes up, does it just go up like this forever? Okay, it won't have any sort of trend, it won't have any sort of direction, there's no higher highs, there's no Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate. In an uptrend, what do people often do? They often place a massive amounts of orders to change the direction. What are they? I know you can't use the definition in the whatever, the name in the definition, but I often do this. It's imbalanced price action that needs balanced out. So imbalances slash fair value gaps.
For a second, I thought the monitor was on fire. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. All good though.
It's imbalanced price action.
Nothing crazy yet. We're good.
First of all, if you guys don't know what matrix is, when we're in an uptrend, it's the down move. So the down move is called a matrix. So
That's what he has. That's a fair value gap.
in the greatest of all time. That needs
Imbalanced price action. That's what he had wrote down from before.
balance. So imbalances slash fair value gaps. I know I'm using whatever the definition. Deal with it. I'm not a great. It's imbalanced price action that needs to be balanced out via a retrace. First of all, if you guys don't know what a retrace is, when we're in it, big baby, it just matters about what's inside you. Period. If you got that down, I'm gonna take it wrong. That's enough for now. Okay, so a bearish fair value gap is from the first candlestick's wick down to the third candle.
Does not matter. He just got through explaining it. It does not matter what the color of the candle is. As long as there is one large candle in the middle. Like this one. Right here. Like this one here. You have a candle on either side with a wick and another wick. It doesn't close in the middle. That's fair value gap. I know those. Yay.
Candlesticks. So what is there a lack of within here? There's a lack of buy orders. When price moves up into that, and then we need proof. And
He's going to explain it. I think. Looking for signs of reversal, liquidity sweeps. To confirm the reversal is regular structure, inverse fair value gap, and SMT. Continuation, that's continuing to go down. Fair value gaps, order block, breaker block, equilibrium. So maybe that's where I was confused at. Maybe that's where I'm a bit on the not so good side with things. Because I need to form an idea first. On the higher time frame, we're in a downtrend, and we have fair value gaps high and low, right? On the 5 minute specifically, we have a fair value gap that has just been filled, but has not been disrespected yet. We're waiting for candle closure below. With that being the case, I think that's going to be a continuation, because that is literally what it is, right? We have not seen a liquidity sweep yet, and that is something we're looking for on the upside, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what this is right here. Liquidity sweep. This is a sign of reversal, but we need to confirm what's going to happen. So we're looking for that break of structure. That's what on top of the liquidity sweep is this break of structure here. Am I misinterpreting that? I think probably. However, per the notes and the confluences, I think we're going to continue in a downtrend. That's my genuine thought. So I'm looking for signs of continuation. That's fair value gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks, and equilibrium. Makes sense, right? Per the fair value gap, per what we have here, right? I was gonna throw an equilibrium thing up there, but don't think there's enough on this. I don't think I have enough on this. Does he continue for another 2.5 hours? Yes, he does. I don't know if it's
Actual belief in this new change of structure and in this new break of trend that we just had by showing what continuation of the trend via what fair value gaps. So just take a picture of that for now. We'll get back to that. But now I want to show you guys fair value gaps on charts. Just like liquidity sweeps, fair value gaps are on every single time frame. And this is something about fair value gaps. Going back to dicks, okay? Fair value gaps are just like dicks. You don't want to fuck every single dick. Okay, there's only some dicks that you want. What I want you guys, give me 30 seconds so I can show.
no. You can show anyone, not me. I'm focused on what I got to take care of. You come after. And even then, I might not even go away.
Chart right now, identify 5 bearish fair value gaps, identify 5 bullish fair value gaps. What I want to show you guys on top of this lesson is show you guys how they get respected. Because fair value gaps can get disrespected, and they can also get respected. And this is kind of going to lead us into inverse fair value gaps right after this explanation. So, this right here, we have a bearish fair value gap. Why is it a bearish fair value gap? Because the third candle is a move gap. Okay, we have 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. We take the bottom wick of the first candle to the top wick of the third candle, and we just draw a little box on it. This fair value gap, it got filled, right? But then we got a candlestick closure above it. So what did we do to this fair value gap right here? We disrespected it. This fair value gap is no longer valid.
In making context, if we find a fair value gap, like this one right here, if we find a fair value gap like this one, and the candlesticks do not close below it, it is being respected. If it closes below it, it is disrespected.
Okay, for a fair value gap to get respected, we have to fill it without getting a candlestick closure above it.
So price moves in, and no candle closes below. When we're going up and price is moving back down, right? If it closes below, that is disrespecting it. If it does not close below, it's respecting it. We're looking for the candle price movement. Price can move all the way through it and be fine. It's when it's closed above or below per the trend.
And then get a candlestick closure down. It doesn't matter if the candlestick closes down within the fair value gap. It just matters that we come in, fill it, and then the next candlestick. Or it doesn't have to be the direct next candlestick. It could be one candle up, two candle up, three candle up. As long as it doesn't close above the fair value gap, and as long as we get a candle down out of it, boom, that's it being respected. As long as it's in the right context, price should move down. Same thing on a bullish fair value gap. Example. This is a good example of a current one that's about to get disrespected as long as price flows underneath it. But look, we have a bullish fair value gap right here. How do I know that? First wick, I mean, just look, right? There's a gap between the three candles. First wick's, or the first candle's top wick, the third candle's bottom wick. This is the gap. Price right now, currently disrespecting it. We'll know for a fact if it gets disrespected once this candle closes in 8 minutes. Again, just because price is down here like this right now doesn't mean that, okay, this fair value gap is set and done. No. It can leave, as long as price closes in here, if it leaves a long ass wick like this, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Okay, and I'll show you an example of that, of a fair value gap getting filled with a long ass wick, and it's still being filled. This is a good example of this fair value gap being respected permanently. So, what is this? It's a bearish fair value gap. And again, we get one candle close, two candle close, three, like, whatever. There's a whole bunch of candle closures within this, but as long as the candle doesn't close above the fair value gap, it's still valid. And then, boom, what do we get? We get a bearish candle closure, confirming that sell orders have been filled, and then price ends up moving down. Also, I just want to point something out to you guys. Look at this. So you can see the magic start to move. Liquidity sweep. We were currently in an uptrend. Right, structure to the downside. This black candle, followed by fair value gap getting filled. Price moving down. Anyways, now that we know, let me show you one or two more examples. So we have, look, right here. Another bearish fair value gap. Price comes up into the bearish fair value gap, accumulates for a little bit, and then boom, goes down. Let's try and find some more examples here. Again, what I want you guys to remember is for fair value gaps, when you guys start trading these, you guys are going to think these are magic move, and you guys are going to start marking them out, and then you guys are going to start pressing buy and sell every time a bearish or bullish fair value gap gets filled. Guess what? That's how you lose. You lose by trading these confluences just by themselves. You win by trading them together in a good strategical manner that is optimal for efficient price flow. And I'm going to teach you guys that. We just have to get through all the, I know, day trading is a hard skill, so we have to get through these steps first. This is a good example of bearish fair value gap getting respected with the wick that actually went above it. So right here, notice how the wick goes above this bearish fair value gap. Right? It goes above this bearish fair value gap. However, what does it do? It doesn't close, or I mean, assuming that the next hour isn't just this huge candle that ends up turning up, but assuming that this candle closes like this bearish fair value gap is valid. It hasn't been disrespected because it's just like a wick. It's just a wick. So just like break structure, if it's a wick, we don't care. Okay, but a candle closure above the fair value gap, we do care. Now that leads me into what inverse fair value gaps are. An inverse fair value gap is literally just a fair value gap getting disrespected. So,
A fair value gap that's closed to the opposite side of. So, if this fair value gap is disrespected, inverse fair value gap. That makes sense to me. Right now it's being respected. Price is dancing along it, leaving wicks galore, but none closing below it. Per the notes, an inverse fair value gap is confirmation of reversal. But a fair value gap that is respected is denial of reversal, which means continuation in the direction price was moving. Currently, we're going up. Per the 5 minute, we're going up. And we've already established, I think, on the hour, this is a retrace. We are going up. I am learning.
As I mentioned before, a inverse fair value gap is a confirmation confluence. So an inverse fair value gap. I know we're just jumping straight into this, but hey man, you guys wanted to learn how
If you guys want to see his video specifically, I will leave a link to this specific video in the description of the video I post of me learning this video on Orbs Vault, which will be completely unedited. I'm tempted to even post this entire stream onto Orb Plus. Orb Plus's link can be found in the description of my Orbs Vault channel. You click on the channel icon right there. You click on more. That's to the right and down a little bit. It's a little word that says more. You click more, scroll down, find the reaction orb. Boom. I'm very tempted to post this entire stream to that just because, yeah, I can't think of really anything else to post it to. Orbs Vault is primarily meant for the streams. This is a stream. Let's not get confused.
an inverse fair value gap is a fair value gap that gets disrespected within current order flow that shows a change of trend. Oops, let me change this.
In an order flow that's indicative of a change of trend, which means break of structure. Right? When a fair value gap is disrespected within that current trend, that current order flow, that is an inverse fair value gap. I believe we're about to witness one. We have 4.5 minutes to see whether or not this candle right here closes below, and I believe it is yep, there it goes, just below it. Inverse, which means now we're looking at confirmation of the reversal. I still want to see what the liquidity sweep is. I'm sure we've already done that. We've already looked at it, but I wish to review the liquidity sweep. Because per the session, right, this right here, or actually, are we in, I'd say let's stick with this session, to be completely honest. Is it per session that he does liquidity sweep in? Is it per the other session, like a combined total of session, liquidity sweep? I think it's this right here. I think it's just the session. Per the session, I think we're waiting for price to come back down to test this low right here. We're in an uptrend, so I think I am right when I say that. I think what's going to happen is per this fair value gap, price is going to come back down into this, test this low, right? And from there, that'll be our, not liquidity sweep, but our breaker block. We're trying to identify a breaker block in this. It'll continue down and potentially test this low here, maybe even this low here. I think price is going to continue coming down per that breaker block, but we have to identify if that's going to be a thing or not. We're also looking for the notes, an order block specifically for continuation of trend down. We're looking for that. I believe that's what this right here is, actually, because we have a fair value gap here, and then we had an order block. That's legit what he was saying before. Maybe this right here is the liquidity sweep, because we have two lows. Well, not two lows. We have one low here, one low here. We are looking for a green candle to go up, and then from there, the lowest point. That would be the liquidity sweep, which means sign of reversal. At which point, we're looking for continuation confirmation, which would be the order block. Breaker block from before, which I think we got with this right here. one of these two candles, and from that, equilibrium from the highest high to the lowest low. And when price dances back in there, it should just bounce back up. And the closure would have to be within that in order for it to continue going up. And again, if this candle decides to close above it, we got a minute 17 to see where this is going to go. I think it's going to disrespect it and continue going. That would be what the inverse fair value gap is indicative of: confirmation and continuation. Or confirmation that it's going to continue going up. I don't know. He's still teaching. Let's see. Current trend.
Fair value gap is a fair value gap that gets disrespected within the current trend that in turn shows a new change of trend. So, let's say we're in a downtrend, and you're going to start to see how we can start piecing these things together to identify, hey, when is a low or a high valid for a liquidity sweep? Let's say we're in a downtrend. We're retracing into a fair value gap, and then we go lower. Change our liquidity. Psych, we keep going lower. Another fair value gap. And then what's that? We end up disrespecting it. When we disrespect a fair value gap, we'll show it in both directions, but when we disrespect a bearish fair value gap within a downtrend, it's just like a break of structure in that in order for fair value gaps to be valid, when they get filled, it's showing that price is going to continue in that trend direction. Well, when a fair value gap gets disrespected, what is that likely a sign of? That the trend is no longer going to continue in that direction. So we can treat an inverse fair value gap similar to a break of structure, similar to...
It has not disrespected, chat. We were looking at that candle for a while. Price moved down, but it did not close below. Are we seeing that? It got super close, but it did not close below. That was insanely close to getting correct, but it did not close below.
Change in trend, and you'll see here on this fake
I'm smiling because I know that I could be wrong. I'm still learning.
we come down, sweep out this low, and then how do we know that this low was an actual liquidity sweep? How do we know? I know Daddy's been working. I switched from GDX to DDX.
Kind of hope you guys don't get the ads I get, because golly, are they annoying?
It's a valid low. Sorry. How do we know that this is a valid low that swept out is sell orders that actually filled buy orders? Well, two different ways, three different ways really, but the two ways that we know now are either break of structure. So how do we identify break of structure? Well, this high would have to get close above. But sometimes we're lucky enough where there's fair value.
Break of structure specifically says close above. Makes sense? We didn't break structure there. We broke structure on this candle here because we closed above this high. We were in a downtrend. Boom. This did not break the structure because it was a lower high specifically. This right here though, 100% break of structure. Zoom. We also broke structure on this one right here. We were on a downtrend. Boom. Closed above. We broke structure on this candle here. Boom. Closed above. We also had a fair value gap that was disrespected here. Inverse fair value gap. Boom. We broke structure there, I think. I'm gonna get super technical with it. I want to get super in depth. Because right here we're in a downtrend. We have lower high, lower low, or lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower high still because we did not close above this right here. We had a higher low here, so temporary break of structure there. Break of structure. It went up. We had a fair value gap here. That was not disrespected until we got to this candle right here. It was disrespected, so price is continuing to go down. I want to say this was also liquidity sweep right here. Because we had a low here, and price came down to test it again for this. And we had a breaker block here. Price went up, came back down, disrespected the fair value gap. Boom. I think he's going to explain what the order block is, and I think it has something to do with price moving back up into where this closed below, making this candle the order block, which would be a signal for continuation and it just plummeting back down. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I am all ears. I am all eyes. I can see you. You have said nothing. This is for me. This is for you. This is for us. This is for we. Anyway.
And these fair value gaps get disrespected before the high gets closed above, and it tells us even earlier that these trends are going to change direction. Start to piece this together. I don't want you guys to think that you're shadow money with Wizard Gang. We love casting spells. Just yet, and you know how to do this. Don't get off this video. There's still a lot more to learn, but we're almost there. So within an uptrend, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We're retracing into a fair value gap, and we go higher. Retrace into a fair value gap, and then we go higher. And then we have a fair value gap right here. And then, this fair value gap gets disrespected. We close underneath it. There was a whole bunch of buy orders right here. How do we know that these buy orders got filled? Or these buy orders got sell orders, sorry, got transacted with these buy orders? Because we see a fair value gap get disrespected, and then boom, the trend changes. So let's show this on the chart. Again, a inverse fair value gap is literally just a fair value gap that gets disrespected. And again, just like with all of our other confluences, this happens on what? Every single time frame. The inverse fair value gaps on the weekly time frame, monthly time frame, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, 5-minute time frame, every single time frame. That's the awesome thing about the way that I trade. This is a good example here. Okay, so let's look at this. Price is in a downtrend. We're not going to put all the pieces together just yet. I just want to show you guys this. Price is in a downtrend. What do we have right here? A bearish fair value gap. It gets disrespected by price closing above it. We actually also get a break of structure because this was the most recent high in the downtrend. So we not only get a break of structure to the upside, but we also get a bearish inverse or a bullish inverse fair value gap. Sorry. Closure above it, price ends up. Okay. Let me show another example. This is a good example. No, there's break of structure before it. I want to find a good example of when there isn't a break of structure before it.
I know you guys are able to hear this video playing at very small volume. I am actually like, I don't want to put a react to this video. I don't want to re-record this video because I'm slightly terrified of YouTube. Slightly. This is me learning, and he has said multiple times in this video he wants us taking notes. My version of notes is watching the video and actually taking notes, right? I have taken notes. I wish to continue to take notes. I'm learning something. I've had to relearn a couple things now. Inverse fair value gap being one of them. I know what fair value gaps are when they're respected. This is a legitimate fair value gap right here. We just had a huge candle wick go up there. I imagine this is going to turn into another fair value gap. I'd like to see what this does, if it gets respected or not. Because that right there is not a fair value gap. There are no fair value gaps along this entire trend right here. There is one right here that gets disrespected going up, gets closed above. There's one right here. Or that right there to this right here. It does not get closed above. So this right here is where price, I think, wants to move. For the retrace. Boom. We're going to keep that visible. It doesn't get closed above, so this is not a inverse fair value gap. This is a normal fair value gap. As a result, it's continuation of it moving down, and sure enough, it still went down. It plummeted the way it said it would. However, this is also a fair value gap right here. It has been respected and is continuing to move higher. I think price is going to come up to here, peak within this right here, and then plummet back down. So yeah, I think price is going to continue to move higher. We're going to zoom way back in here. This is on the 5 minute, just so we're on the same page. We just had a respected fair value gap. We're looking for it to go higher. It is moving higher, as we can see. I'm going to continue playing this video, watching this.
So this is what that in inverse fair value gap will come to handy. Where's the most recent high in this downtrend? It's right here, or at least until this high gets made. But look, instead of us having to wait,
Either price moves higher than what it is now, at which point it'll just continue, which is what this is saying it will do. Or I am wrong, because we have a fair value gap up here that was not broken, right? Price would need to move up per this, way higher, peak in this. If it closes above this fair value gap, making it an inverse fair value gap, it is going to confirm this is going to go higher. We are going to stay in an uptrend going up. Because of the context of price, though, I think that because this is a retrace on the higher time frame, it is going to continue up to here, but it is not going to close above. As a result, I think when price moves into this, it will peak and close inside and then plummet back down. What am I looking for it to peak here and come back down? What am I looking for that come back down? I'm looking for a liquidity sweep. I think what we're looking for more accurately is going to be one very large jump from here up. There's going to be one large candle somewhere in this. We have a large candle here, and we are still moving up. Let's see what it does. We got a minute 30 for this candle to close. We are going back down into a retrace. So far, we do have a break of structure, because we were in a downtrend, a small, like 5-6 minutes downtrend here. or for the past, what, half hour we've been in a downtrend, sorry. We're just now breaking structure because this was our most recent high. This right here closed above it. Actually, this right here was our most recent high for this, and it did close above that. So we're good. It respected this, which means it's going to continue up. Respected fair value gap, continuation of current move up. Yeah. I want to watch more of this. I want to learn breaker block or block equilibrium.
This high. We can't enter on this candlestick closure. Why? Because there's an inverse fair value gap right here. There's a bearish fair value gap that doesn't get respected. This candlestick closed above the fair value gap. Got disrespected. But again, same thing applies. There's millions of inverse fair value gaps that happen across every single time frame, but not every single one of them is going to cause a reversal. Not every single break of structure is going to cause a reversal. Every single one of these confluences cannot be used on their own. They have to be with context. Okay? They have to be used with context.
Am I doing that, chat? Am I using them with context? I don't think I am, because I'm still trying to figure out, like, liquidity sweep for one on a downtrend, on a large scale time frame downtrend, right? Boom. On a large scale downtrend, this would be the lowest low. In order to spot liquidity sweep, we're looking for essentially 2 candles. No. It's the hardest concept to grasp. I know why. Because I'm looking at it. Looking at his chart specifically and looking at what he's doing to identify liquidity sweep, and I distinctly remember seeing something along like this right here, where he marks a low here and a low here, and then he sees a block like this with a large candle wick and says, okay, these two are retests. This was a retrace back down. This right here is our liquidity sweep. Why? Because price moved down here, confirming that these two, that the break of structure was valid over here somewhere, right? As a result, price went higher. But the thing is, looking at it from a large scale perspective, let's go back all the way up to the 4 hour, just cuz. This right here would have been the same thing. We have a low here and a low here. This is within the large scale time frame trend, right? My understanding is it wouldn't be this block that's the liquidity sweep, it'd be this one right here. Or inversely, because we're looking for a break of structure to the upside, right? In a downtrend, we would need the break of structure to go past the most recent high. We have not broke structure on the recent high on the time frame, the higher time frame. We are still, without a doubt, in a downtrend. This is just a retrace. We're looking for it to make a new high on the high time frame, which would be somewhere in this. I imagine it'll be closer to like over here somewhere. It'll be up. It'll fight its way up to about like right here, and it'll come back down ever so slightly. Realistically speaking, I think I need to look at this video 17 more times. I need to drill it into my head. I need to just watch it day in, day out, because I've learned a lot from this video, and I've learned that a lot of the notes I've taken over the past 3 years could use refinement. And I mean, take a jagged edge to it and chip away at the pieces that are not desired and refine it down to the best that it could be. In complete honesty. I think that's what needs to happen. I'm gonna watch some more of this video now. If you enjoy my stream, again, it's just me learning and applying what Buddy says from video onto chart. I am learning. I'll get there.
Context, they are fucking nothing. So, let me try to find another example. Again, these are on every single time frame, so let me talk about that. This is a good example right here. This actually puts everything together like this. Sweep of liquidity, a sweep of the high, followed by what? A bullish fair value gap that gets disrespected. Price ends up going down. Good example here. Pushes past the high. Bullish fair value gap. I think price wanted to continue this uptrend. Should have held. And candle closure underneath it. Price moves lower. Okay. So now that we know how to identify fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps, I want to go ahead and talk about all of the other confluences that I use on a daily basis. So that's going to be breaker blocks, it's going to be order blocks, it's going to be equilibrium, and then that's going to be S&T divergences. And then once we have all of that, oh, it sounded like a lot, and that's okay. You guys can keep coming back to this video. You guys can keep pausing it, making sure. First thing, do your homework, okay? Get inverse fair value gap. Hey guys, did you know something? Talked about this. So, a bullish order block is the move up prior to the liquidity sweep, or sorry, a bearish order block. Sorry, Down syndrome. A bearish order block is the move block.
Order blocks, the leg up or leg down that causes the liquidity sweep. I actually have notes on this, I think. I put notes down, but I think it's wrong. I'm going to scroll down to where it says order block. Nope. Order blocks and fair value gap. Order blocks happen at the tops or bottoms of the trend. You see how refinement is needed here? Think up, down, or down, down. Up, up in an uptrend. Down in a downtrend. Essentially is when an order is placed or filled depending on the trend, and immediately after the move repeats itself into a repeat move. I think that's, it looks like a repeat move, but I think that's a wrong way of saying that. This action can be found by identifying 3 movements, not candles, using the directions listed above. It will always be found either at the tops or bottoms of a trend. These are not to be mistaken for a consolidation, nor are they meant to be used to indicate breakup structures or for value gaps. These are moves right before a liquidity sweep. Would that be correct? This is, I think, where I'm confused. Like, I get tripped up on once it's identified that there is a leg down into a liquidity. Yep. Like, yep, into a liquidity sweep. Assume there will be a break of structure into the opposing side after the liquidity sweep. Or are they meant to be used to indicate break of structures? Liquidity sweeps can be the break of structures? Am I saying that wrong, chat? Am I saying that wrong? What is the note for fair value gaps doing? All the way down with order blocks and... Oh no, this is order blocks and fair value gap. These are notes directly from his boot camp from way back when. Like 2, 3, 4 years ago, something like that. I think that's essentially what it is. It is 10 p.m. So this is the first stream I'm doing of this. This is not the first stream I've done of this. I have streamed trying to learn how to invest before, I think 4 or 5 times, right? This is the first stream that I'm actually going to take serious about this. I really, 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 really want to learn this, right? Not just off my notes that I currently have, but off of the guy who put these notes out and has refined them much more in depth compared to before. And I can see his face on this video now. He's annoyed that he has to make the video. I'm grateful because instead of hunting down 17 videos like he had to, and like I had to with his boot camp, he did it in one video. He didn't have to. I'm greatly appreciative of it. If you want to check him out, link to his channel can be found in the description of the video, as well as YouTube's live thing. Like, I will add that here in a second. Link to this specific video can be found directly under his channel link. So you have his channel, his video, and then right below that, my channel. Go subscribe to Orb Plus as well as Orbs Vault. Orbs Vault is where I host all the streams as well as Twitch. From there, you can pretty much see me streaming as well as a video I put up of this stream. So if the quality is just not working for you on the stream side of things, please note that I'll have a really, really refined video for you on Orbs Vault. It'll be in video form, not the live, so somewhere on the same page. But yeah, when that's taken care of, you can essentially take your time watching that video, or you can go to the link in the description and watch this guy's video where he goes in much more in depth. All of what I'm doing is notes based. I am literally taking notes from this guy because he is so successful at it, and I'd like to be as successful as he is. With that being said, I'm going to watch a little bit more of this guy's video. I'm going to learn a little bit more on order blocks, breaker blocks, equilibrium, as well as refine some of my notes as well. I did that like I was these. I'm going to refine more of these. Once I feel satisfied with the refinement of this, as well as where I'm at when learning this, and identifying it on my chart itself, I think I'm going to call it for the stream because I'm wanting to change my sleep schedule to where I'm waking up 7:30 a.m. in the morning, so I can catch the best trades for my time zone specifically. At that point, next week, if you saw on my previous stream, or the stream before that, Monday stream, you would have seen where I went into depth on why I'm changing things the way I'm changing them, as well as the schedule changes. You're going to be receiving an extra video from me every single day on Orb Plus. Those will legitimately be these exact streams, this stream right here, chopped up into as many videos as I think is needed from that stream, and I'm going to post them, schedule them out 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4. And if you don't like the chopped up version, I'm not even going to edit them. I'm just going to chop them up, get rid of the stream bits, and have legit videos of me learning this day in, day out on the charts, nothing but the charts. Continue on, right? Go check out Orbs Vault if you do not like that kind of thing where I've chopped it up and it's a bunch of just videos scattered about. This is me learning how to be a day trader, how to be successful with my money, what I have in my pocket at the moment, so I can actually have a life without someone over the top of me just nagging for no reason, right? Yeah. Go check out Orb's Vault. Did not mean to rewind that. Go check out Orb Plus, the reaction Orb on YouTube. Check out this guy, TJR Trades. His channel name is TJR. I believe his @ is TJR Trades. Look him up. He's a cool dude. I respect him. I'm learning a lot from him, and you could too. If you want to be as successful as him, go subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to me too, because I referenced the dude.
So, how do we identify liquidity sweep?
Oh, hang on, because he's about to do that. And I would very much like to learn this specific part. This is what I'm after. I'm doing a giveaway. It's for a video game. You want to know more about that? Check out the link, not the links, the other videos of the streams I've posted, all of which have gaming content in them. Gaming, G-A-M-I-N-G's content. Each one of those specific streams and those specific videos will have not a link, but a description or a pinned comment detailing what you need to do in order to enter that giveaway. It is completely free to enter the giveaway. It is completely free to get the game. It is completely free to get all of what's needed in order to receive your prize. Check out the descriptions. I know it's a read. If you're interested, yeah, go check those out.
From a high, break structure or an inverse for value gap following that. We just talked about this. So, a bullish order block is the move up. So, how do we identify liquidity sweep? With, boom, when we move above a high and they can break the structure or an inverse for value gap following that. We just talked about this. So, a bullish order block is the move up prior to the liquidity sweep, or sorry, a bearish order block. Sorry, Down syndrome. A bearish order block is the move up prior to the liquidity, or sorry, the move up that caused the liquidity sweep prior to the breaking structure. Okay, so this move up right here is considered our order block. Why is it considered an order block? Well, let's just think back to liquidity sweeps. We know there's a whole bunch of buy orders that are above these highs, right? So when price moves up to fill these buy orders, what is happening on this move up? A whole bunch of sell orders are given the ability to be filled. Because as we're moving up and as we're sweeping out these buy orders and filling these buy orders, what are the market makers doing? They're filling the sell orders to cause price to go down. So what do we know about this price range? From the start of the move up to the top of the move up, there is a whole bunch of potential and there's a whole bunch of probability to be able to fill sell orders. So if price comes back into this price range where there was a lot of probability and a lot of potential for price to be able to fill sell orders, and we see a move down following that, showing that sell orders have been filled, what is likely going to happen? Price is likely going to move down off of that.
Welcome to Take 5 Royalty.
Let's show the bullish. We're in a downtrend. We get a sweep of liquidity. Boom. Okay. We get a sweep of liquidity.
This is the second time he's seen it. He's said it and has spelt it out in the same manner, right? A liquidity sweep. I made a note on it, so let's just go to it and actually read it. Order block. Liquidity. What are they? Okay, cool. Resting order, stop orders, limit orders. We just went into a much more in-depth version of that. I know that's a bit busted. Here we are. Liquidity is when a price point is achieved and the resulting condition is others exchange their money for trades. Essentially, it means two very close points. Like this right here. Like these two. Right here. Right? It means that the order, it's best represented, I guess, by this. It's when so everyone wants to sell up here because of this, right? So volume floods in, and so price moves down. As a result, we have a low here, low here. The sell orders have been filled, right? People are actually buying this and buying this. And as a result, we have a liquidity sweep here, where price moved all the way down here to a certain point. It's when 2 lows are made in a downtrend, and we have one low here, and immediately after a short retrace, we have another low here. It's when those orders have been filled, and as a result, price pushes back up. And he says it the way he says it here, and I say it the way I say it here. It's the exact same thing. It's achieved, and the resulting condition is others exchange the money for trades. Liquidity is where orders will be filled. People will need to exit the market while others come in, all while the banks are filling the orders from people leaving the market. How to spot liquidity. This is one of the most difficult concepts to grasp in the markets. He says it in this video as well. Is when the most recent high is taken out by the next in an uptrend, indicating when a change in the market will immediately happen through a much sooner break of structure confirmation. So, when the most recent high, or in this case, the most recent low, is taken out by the next, right? Followed by a break of structure. We can use this one actually. This is our break of structure here. This is a higher low. I think I'm wrong again. I think that's why it's so difficult. Most recent high, or in our case, most recent low, is taken out by the next. Where's our most recent low? Right here. It hasn't been taken out yet. If we were to rewind all the way to here, to where we can't even see that green candle, boom, and we were able to remove that, we would see that this right here is the lowest low. Per these notes, per this note, and the most recent low is taken out by the next. This low was the most recent, aside from this one. It was taken out. Am I not supposed to count this right here? Is that how that works? Is that the mistake I'm making? Because it's by the next low, not the low after that. So, as a result, we have a low here. This low was not taken out. Ergo, this is not liquidity. However, it was taken out by this one, making this the liquidity, where liquidity lies. Price is drawn to liquidity, or imbalances. Right now it's choosing liquidity. That's for this right here. I think more accurately right now, it's filling up buy orders, which means per this candle right here, we're looking for a candle wick to come up above this candle here. This right here would be the liquidity sweep we're after. And it's going to happen, if I'm not mistaken, in this right here. That would make the most sense to me. Again, this is the 4 hour. I know it's the 4 hour. want to go back down into the 5 minute just to see what stuff is. I want to try and identify a liquidity sweep on the 5 minute. There we go. Boom. So we respected the fair value gap, which is a sign of continuation that is going to continue going up. As a result, we're looking for, right here, this is a perfect example. We have a low taken out by the next low, and from here we have a liquidity sweep, right? And then confirmation was the break of structure on this candle here. We broke structure, and price ramped up, creating a fair value gap. I'm slowly beginning to think liquidity sweeps are indicative of imbalances, and so price is going to try and correct it through an overcorrection. I think I'm wrong. If I keep second guessing myself, I'll never really learn anything. That's the whole point of this, is to risk it. I understand how risky it is now. Get it. I also understand how bad people could lose out. I think I'm right in saying that. This right here is the liquidity sweep. This low was taken out by this low. Maybe that's where I'm messing up. It's not the closure of the candles that indicate liquidity sweep, it's price movement itself. So it's not this right here. Even though this is the lowest point between these two candles, and this right here is the lowest point between these two candles. This right here is the lowest low of the move before this candle comes into play. As a result, it creates a new low. We are in, at this right here, in this segment, a downtrend. This low is taken out by this low, causing instability. Buying is taken up. Those buy orders are filled. We broke structure on that candle there. As a result, buyers had time to climb rapidly. Sell orders weren't being filled, and they weren't filled within this fair value gap. This fair value gap was respected, and as a result, it went higher. Now, what we're looking for, in order for a trade to occur, we're looking for a liquidity sweep on the upside, because right now we are in an uptrend for this whole thing right here. We are in an uptrend. We had a liquidity sweep here. Price moved up to here, took out this most recent high. As a result, we're looking for that instability change. Price wants to come back down. It has filled this fair value gap. Respected it. For the upside, we're looking for continuation, because we want price to move up in order for it to work, but we're in a retracement. So what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to come back down. I think this is about to get disrespected. We're going to put it all the way out there. I think this is going to get disrespected now. Why? Because this right here cleared. That right there. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? I think it makes sense. As quickly as I said that, so a much sooner break of structure confirmation. Break of structure is confirmation and continuation. Liquidity sweep is a sign of reversal, though. This is a sign that price is going to move back down into this fair value gap, which it did. Boom, into the fair value gap, but it respected it even still. A respected fair value gap is indicative of continuation. Boom. Price is going to continue upwards for this, which means we have yet to see the high of this retracement. I'm going to watch this video now.
There's a whole bunch of sell orders that are able to get filled underneath this low. This move down gives price the opportunity to what? Fill buy orders to cause price to change direction. We get a break of structure to the upside, confirming that we have changed direction. Now, this range, this move down, which essentially filled all those buy orders. Behind
I feel like I'm actually playing a game now. Oh, what can I compare this to? I can compare it to... I can compare it to my fight with Midir. If you don't know who Midir is, this is a Dark Souls 3 character. He is a... he is Darkness Eater. He eats literal darkness in a world full of magic and difficult monsters to conquer. Midir is rated as one of the toughest winged lizards in the game he is in on his own. My experience with him is a lot like learning these markets in the sense that it is, you don't know who he is except by his name. You know as soon as someone tells you his title, oh boy, especially when the game's centered around his title, it becomes a little more, oh no. Make sense? And then when you get into the arena for the first time, you don't know what you're in for. You just fall into this hole. You've done that about 2 or 3 times on other games, and frankly, it's one of those boss arenas where it's like, this is a little underwhelming. Majestic, eerie, underwhelming. And it's on purpose. Everything about that arena, that stage, the atmosphere, the feeling is on purpose. Without that atmosphere there, the surprise you'd get from facing him the first time would not be there. Because man, does the music go from complete silence. No sound whatsoever. I know you can hear the fan, they try to ignore. No sound. To, I am now in your eardrum with absolute, you had better be afraid. Because this dragon's now breathing fire coming at you at Mach speed. You are not ready. And per that first fight, this is for everyone who's ever entered the fight, with the exception of the 0.001% have gone into that fight and have died instantly. This is a video game I'm talking about. It's Dark Souls 3. I'm relating my experience with him to this. The way he's drawing this on his chart, the way he's really going in depth, is a lot like the skill condensing you would need to master in order to fight Midir. That is, without question, one of the most relatable things I can honestly give when it comes to listening to him go about his honing down on where price is moving to get the best action so he can buy low, sell high, or sell high and buy low so he can get the most profit off of the market. He's honing down, he's filtering everything down to a fine-tuned point. So it doesn't matter where he is in the market, he knows where price is and where it might go from the context of previous highs, lows, and data shown. The biggest difference between the two, in my opinion, is one, his is more logical, and two, though it's a video game with its logistics behind it, the fight is as emotional as it is logistic when it comes to Midir. So you have the human factor there. And any slight misstep, and there is one attack I've never been able to master on that, and it's the same X factor when it comes to these markets, because he even says it himself. There are so few people, less than 3%, able to be successful with these markets, and it's that laser Midir throws out. It's not the one where he shoots at his feet and just goes up on all fours. It's when he's standing on his hind legs and he's blasting that laser, and all he can think to do is to draw with his head. Because Midir and these markets are that turbulence. They can go any which way they want at any time, and they don't give a crap about you. Just like Midir, these markets will wipe you out in an instant if you are not prepared. That is why I'm taking the time to learn. I think that is the best on the... If TJR watches this stream, I'm pretty sure he'd agree if he ever played that game. I'm pretty sure he'd understand it if he ever got to that boss specifically. The amount of, if I were in that room with him and he was the only one with the controller and I could not help him because I'm away from home or whatever, I am almost certain he would get one tapped unless he's played the game before and is just a god at it. He would get one tapped, just like I did my first run. There's no real preparing for Midir. You could have the best everything in the game, and he'd still one tap you with that laser if you get caught. One slight misstep. That is all it takes for him to wipe you out. Just like these markets. I'm going to continue watching this video now. I think I've rambled on for long enough. I think I did pretty good on that analogy, honestly.
This price range. So when price comes back down within this price range, or if price comes back down within this price range, and then we see buy orders out of it, what is price likely going to do? It's likely going to continue higher. Now, how do we
I'm also understanding a little bit more about the psychology. He seems annoyed. I'm annoyed. Just thinking about Midir. Just because less annoyed, more shaky, stressful. That's the difference in our psychologies, I think. Before I mastered Midir, before I really went into fighting him and actually getting to know him, dude, I was scared. I heard the name maybe 3 times beforehand. My brother found out about the dragon before I did. We all went into that boss room and every one of us got murked. There were 3 of us in there. It wasn't just me. 3 of us. We all wanted to try it by ourselves first try. All for a bet. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. I bet you can't do this in one try. Or really, let's see. Let's see what we can do. I died at least 60 times. My brother died at least 60 times. My other brother died at least 600 times because he went after it for a while. We really honed in on this dragon and nothing else. Everything about everything else does not matter. Why? Because we've mastered it. But this dragon, every single one of his attacks, doesn't matter what it is. It's just something else. And it adds on to that stress, not the fear, but the actual stress, the anxiety of it, because I was stressing all the way through learning how to fight him. And it took me 15 attempts to get his health bar from 100 to 0 in one attempt. And that one attempt had me on the Tears of Denial after the proc. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a little trinket you apply to your health bar. You can take all the damage in the world and be left with 1. I had the 1, and I had dodged at least 30 something attacks before I got my final attack off. No healing, no replenishables, nothing except the 1 and a stick I found in some knight's butthole. Very, 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 very stressful. I laugh now because I have conquered that. This is a new Midir.
Another thing that I want to mention, order blocks can either be 1 candle, or they can be 2 candles, they can be 3 candles, as long as it's consecutive. So, if we have the liquidity sweep representation, this is our order block, right? If it's 3 consecutive up candles, we take it from the bottom of the first candle to the top of the last candle, as long as it's 3 consecutive up candles. This can also be considered 1 single up candle. It can literally just be 1 single up candle with a wick that goes above this high. Okay?
Is the leg up. An order block is the leg up or leg down that causes a liquidity sweep. Here. This right here. In an uptrend, it'd be the leg down. Why? Because the orders were being filled. Market makers, he just explained it. are doing this while the banks are filling these orders. The power isn't there. I know what it is. I know what it is. And it results in this right here. It's the leg up or leg down that causes the liquidity sweep. And it's typically 3 in a row. I'm wrong in saying that. It's like
They can be 2 candles, they can be 3 candles, as long as it's consecutive.
so consecutive candles.
This is our order book, right? If it's 3 consecutive up candles, we take it from the bottom of the first candle to the top of the last candle, as long as it's 3 consecutive up candles. This can also be considered one single up candle. It can literally just be one single up candle with a wick that goes above this high. Okay, same thing to the downside. It can be 2 consecutive down candles. It can be 3 consecutive down candles. But what it can't be is like an up candle and then a down candle and then 2 up candles that go up to sweep out this high. These 2 aren't the order block. These 2 are. These 2 are the 2 up candles that cause the sweep.
So, per what he just said, it can be either 2 or 3 consecutive candles of the same color, but it cannot be something like this right here, right? It can't be this, because these 2 right here wouldn't be anything. Instead, it'd be this right here, because this wick right here pushes below most previous made low, right? This would be considered, these 2 candles right here would be considered the order block. And as a result, that's our liquidity sweep. The leg up being what caused it. What caused the order block would be the breaker block, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it?
That's in this.
Again, just like with every single other one of our confluences, this means nothing without context. I'm trying to find a good example. Okay, this is a good example. So right here, we have a liquidity sweep, right? Liquidity sweep, and again, this is liquidity sweep to the downside, and then we see a break structure to the upside. So we're looking for a bullish order block, right? The break structure on this candle closure right here. We also have an inverse gap right here. So liquidity sweep, inverse for value gap, and break structure to the upside. Cool. A hook and ladder with spicy pickle. The upside. Where is the candlestick that moves down that causes the liquidity sweep prior to breaking structure to the upside? This candlestick right here. This is our. Okay, this move down is what caused the liquidity sweep. It's the move down that caused the liquidity sweep prior to breaking structure to the upside. So we see once we get this breaking structure to the upside, price moves down back into this order block. We see boom, buy orders filled. After that, price into time. Okay. We find a bear cheese. Okay, this is a good example. Right here, we get a liquidity sweep to the upside. How do we know that it's a liquidity sweep? Because we end up getting a break structure to the downside right here. We also have an inverse bullish for value gap right here. We get the inverse for value gap and the break structure at the same time with this candlestick closure. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up candles. This move up is what caused the liquidity sweep. So we encapsulate all of those candles. This is our order block. The price range where those sell orders were able to get filled. Okay, so price moved up. It swept out these highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive up candles prior to the break structure to the downside. This is our order block. We mark it out. Price comes up, fills in this order block. We see a down candle, and then boom, price ends up going down a lot. Again, these mean and are nothing without context, so don't just start marking out order blocks and taking trades off of them. Okay, it needs to be systematic, it needs to be strategic, and it needs to be within the right time at the right place. Okay, and if we do that incorrectly, then we're fucked. Okay, but this is a good example. Okay, I want you guys to find 5 examples bullish order blocks. I also want to show you guys an example of what an order block is that gets disrespected. So again, an order block can be valid as long as this is different than fair value gaps. So it's similar to fair value gaps in that candlesticks can close within here, but it's different with fair value gaps where price cannot have a wick above the order block. So
Price can't have a wick above order block. I said the same thing he said. We heard it. What you mean? That was what I was missing. The price cannot have a candlestick above an order block. An order block can be consecutive candles. 1, 2, 3. The order block is right here. Thing is, he says it's like fair value gaps, but that it's different. A fair value gap can have wicks go completely through it and be respected so long as they're closing within the fair value gap and not below the fair value gap, right? This fair value gap was respected. We're looking for an order block. Imagine this would be a prime example of it. We have two candles consecutively going up. As a result, we had price move back down, fill it, but I think this order block was disrespected. Allow me to learn.
obviously, if the candlestick closes above the order block, not only is that a break of structure back to the upside, but it's disrespecting the order block.
So, it would be considered break of structure if it was disrespected. If the candlestick had a closure above an order block, which means this right here, this candle closed above this candle here. This would have been an order block. This closed above it, disrespecting it. The candle wick wasn't above it, but that doesn't matter. It was disrespected.
But also, we can't have a wick above the order block.
You also can't have a wick above the order block.
There is an exception to this, which is called an SMT divergence.
The only exception is when this chart does not match this chart. I think this is probably one of the more complicated ones I've learned, because liquidity sweep makes sense when put in context of it happens after an order block. It's identifying the order block, the thing that causes a liquidity sweep, that I am beginning to understand is, to me, one of the more complicated things, because a liquidity sweep is as easy as saying find an order block, find the most previous low, look for a candle wick right after the order block you think is an order block, and have that wick pass below it. But the candle can't close below it, right? That's my understanding of liquidity sweep, and that is, without question, one of the more difficult ones. And of course, the same applies to the uptrend. Find two candlesticks that are in an uptrend, closed up, right? In an uptrend, the wick would need to go above the most previous high. Most previous high. Most previous high. It would need to go above it, and that would be our liquidity sweep. But how would I be able to identify an order block? He said it could be one candle, it could be two candles, it could be three candles, it could be 5 candles, so long as they're in succession, or one large candle that is the leg down in an uptrend, or the leg up in a downtrend that causes the liquidity sweep. Boom, boom. If that was explained correctly, and we have an experienced member of chat in chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I am doing okay so far.
In that case, we are not taking the trade off an order block, we're taking a trade off the SMT divergence. And that's a whole different story. And we'll get into that.
If an order block is disrespected, wick or body, we cannot take the trade off of an order block. We would have to look at the SMT divergence. That is, looking at the opposing chart I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. I have 3 computers active, one with video, one with active, and then the other with chat. Pardon. SMT is essentially when one chart does not match the other chart when it comes to candle wicks, right? That is what's called an SMT divergence, and he will explain it more in depth. I'm going to watch that little bit as well. I just wanted to put that note into the video. Hello, condensed note. If an order block is disrespected, wick or body, both one doesn't matter. If it's either one closing above, do not take a trade off of order block. That's my personal note. Next to this video.
Story after blocks break block to equilibrium. Okay, so go ahead and find 5 examples of order blocks on your chart. Okay. In that case, you can't not only mislead an example. Don't just start marking out order. Be strategic. Out. Price comes up these highs. So on time here. Find a bearish example. This is a good example. Right here, we get a liquidity sweep to the upside. How do we know that it's a liquidity sweep? So we end up getting a break structure to the downside right here. We also have an inverse bullish fair value gap right here. We get the inverse fair value gap and the break structure at the same time with this candlestick closure. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up candles. This move up is what caused the liquidity sweep. So we encapsulate all of those candles. This is our order block, the price range where those sell orders were able to get filled. Okay, so price moved up, it swept out these highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive up candles prior to the break structure to the downside. This is our order block. We mark it out. Price comes up, fills in this order block. We see a down candle, and then boom, price ends up going down a lot. Again, these mean and are nothing without context, so don't just start marking out order blocks and taking trades off of them. Okay, it needs to be.
Breakup structure. To identify an order block, look for a breakup structure to the downside. We're in an uptrend. We see the low here, our lowest low at the moment. We wait for this candle to form. We have a breakup structure because guess what? We were higher high, higher high, higher high. Guess what? Lower. I said that completely wrong. Higher low, higher low, higher low, lower low. Breakup structure. Boom. Right? Confirmed, locked, order, good. That breakup structure from the leg up, right? 1, 2, 3. Filled this entire candle. As you see that wick, the candle could close right below it, but the wick went as high as the candle did. So it closed within the range of this candle. As a result, the leg back down was our liquidity sweep. This filling this candle caused, guess what? This candle to have it the way it did. As a result, price took a hike, went higher in an uptrend. A downtrend, boom, downtrend, we'd be looking for a liquidity sweep to the downside. It could be one candle, it could be a few candles. Let's try and find one. I want to find one. I'd actually like to, let's do this. Because this is, I want to see this. I want to see an order block from an uptrend. I want to see it go to the downtrend. In an uptrend, we're looking for highs for liquidity sweep. This is where things get a little difficult for me because flipping an entire chart in your head and then trying to work the same way you just did with a downtrend, a little more difficult. Just a little bit. Because in an uptrend, you see a lot of candles moving up, right? To identify it, we need a breakup structure to the downside. Where's our breakup structure to the downside? When we break structure, we have to close below. Nope, nope. down, up. This is highs. Higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, lower, low. This is how we identify a break of structure. From there, we have to identify the order block. The order block is the next move up. And then right after that, a move down that encompasses the entirety of the move up. So this right here and this right here would be our order block. Our order block signifies continuation moving down. Okay. From there, we're looking for, I believe he's about to identify a breaker block, which will continue its move down. Which I believe will be this right here. This right here is our breaker block, if you will. Our price moves a lot, but it closes in a very little amount. As a result, price doesn't know what it wants to do, but because of previous price action, we know that orders were filled, and as a result, we know it's going to continue to move down. From there, we look for inverse for value gap, boom, or a fair value gap for continuation, boom. Fair value gap is confirmed through this, but it becomes, is it respected? No, it's closed above, and as a result, continuation moves down. Inverse fair value gap, boom. But where's the liquidity sweep? We identified the order block here. Where's the sweep? Especially when we're in an uptrend. Did I just do that completely wrong? Did I do that completely wrong, chat? Did I do that? Huh? What'd I do? Let's rewind.
This candlestick right here. This is our gap right here. So liquidity sweep, inverse for value gap, and break of structure to the outside. Sweep of these lows, inverse for value gap, break of structure to the outside. Where is the candlestick that moves down that causes the liquidity sweep prior to break of structure to the outside? This candlestick right here. This is our
Liquidity sweeps identify reversals. The whole idea of a liquidity sweep is it being an indicator for a reversal. We're looking for the indication over here that there'd be move to the downside. In order to find that, I've already said it before. If I'm not mistaken, we have to find the break of structure.
inverse for value gap and break of structure to the outside. Sweep of these lows, inverse for value gap, break of structure to the outside. Where is the candlestick that moves down that causes the liquidity sweep prior to break of structure to the upside? This candlestick right here.
Maybe it's that right there. Because we have a higher low here, but a lower low here. Maybe this right here was the break of structure, right? And as a result, our order block would have been this right here. Because we have one large candle going up. This right here filling essentially what would have been a fair value gap right there. This right here. We have move up, move down, boom. Break of structure on that candle there. Move up again, order block. Price took a hike a little bit higher, but it was losing power. As a result, buying power. As a result of a few more imbalances down here, fair value gap, very tiny fair value gap right there. Price does, or size does not matter. Fair value gap right there. Price came back down. Too many imbalances in here caused price to come back down. think that's how that's identified. And our liquidity sweep, specifically, I keep doing that. It's the wrong dead blame keyboard. Our liquidity sweep to get back down to the downside would be this candle here. This wick. Actually, it didn't clear any of that, so I'm wrong. It may have been this one. I think it's this one. Because we had right here a move up. The high side between these two is here. We had a break of structure off of this one. And then we broke structure again here for the uptrend. Back to the uptrend because we closed above the next high. It would have been a break of structure there, so it would have been this candle here. I'm slowly beginning to understand why it's the most difficult concept to grasp. Slowly? Quickly. Because I'm having trouble identifying a liquidity sweep at the peak of an uptrend. I know it's between these two candles here. Why? Because that's how it works. That makes sense. Without getting it like stupid technical, that's how it makes sense. Price took a hike. We had two break of structures, one to the downside here, and then one back up to the upside here. This, I think, would have been what he's about to identify as a breaker block. So we had break of structure, breaker block, and then from there, liquidity sweep, and then again another break of structure there. Allow me to watch the rest of breaker block and equilibrium because there's a little bit.
This move down is sweep. It's the move down to the primary indicator. It's those break. It's candles up. Again, these mean and are nothing without context. So don't just start marking out order blocks and taking trades off of them. Okay, it needs to be systematic. It needs to be strategic. And it needs to be within the right time.
Just so we're on the same page. I've opened a demo account with the exact broker he's using. I'm doing everything the way the man instructs. I am not doing anything on my own, except taking what he has put out to the public, jotting it down as notes, and learning from my mistakes off of those notes. Something just popped up on Twitch chat. Welcome to the chat room, whoever is watching. Hope you're having a nice night. I know I am. I'm learning a new skill. My hope is fairly simple. I want to get successful at this. Yeah. That took all of my train of thought and threw it away. I was actually happy someone was watching. My mistake. Let's continue watching. Oh, that's what I was going to say. These streams are me learning. They are not me teaching. Make sense? From learning this, I now have reference material to go back to. I have a stream to watch. I have a video to watch. I have multiple videos to edit and watch. I can hear myself say this 10 more times. I can hear him say it 20 more times because he said it 3 times now. Me learning.
Okay, but this is a good example of order blocks, okay? I want you guys to find 5 examples of bullish order blocks. I want you guys to find 5 examples of bearish order blocks, and then come back to me, alright? I also want to show you guys an example of what an order block is that gets disrespected. So, again, an order block can be valid as long as this is different than fair value gaps. So it's similar to fair value gaps in that candlesticks can close within here, but it's different with fair value gaps where price cannot have a wick above the order block. So, I mean, obviously, if a candlestick closes above the order block, not only is that a break of structure back to the upside, but it's disrespecting the order block, obviously. But also, we can't have a wick above the order block. There is is an exception to this, which is called an FP divergence. But in that case, we are not taking the trade off of an order block. We're taking a trade off the SMT divergence. And that's a whole different story. And we'll get into that story later, after order blocks, breaker blocks, and equilibrium. Okay, so go ahead and find 5 examples of order blocks on your chart. Okay, pause this video and find 5 examples of order blocks. Okay, so once you guys have done that, we're going to go ahead and talk about breaker blocks, which are essentially the same thing as an order block, except just a little bit different. So breaker cocks, breaker cock, whatever. Breaker blocks are the move up or down, again, prior to the break structure to the up / downside in trend shift. Okay, so breaker blocks are the move up or move down prior to the breaking structure to the up / downside in trend shift. So it's literally the same definition as an order block, except it's the opposite, I guess, if that makes sense. Not really, but look, stay with me. In an uptrend, okay, let's say we have an uptrend right here, right? An order block, a bearish order block, right, is the move up that caused the liquidity sweep, that caused the order sweep. The opposite is a breaker block. A bearish breaker block is the move down. So again, most of the time it's relatively the same price range for the most part. Sometimes it's different, but for the most part it's relatively the same price range. But it's the move down that, in the reasoning behind this is it's a failed retrace. So typically these retraces are what gives price the fuel and trends, the fuel to push higher and keep extending higher and higher and higher. So the reason that this is a good tool for us is because it's a failed retrace. So it's saying it caused price to move down, or sorry, the breaker block didn't cause price to move down. The price moved down, it's retraced down, and then we had buy orders that pushed us up, but to take out this draw on liquidity, we didn't have enough buy orders to keep price pushing, to keep price to continue in the trend, and then price broke structure. So order blocks are where there's a significant, where we were able to fill a significant amount of sell orders in the past. This is similar to fair value gaps, where there's a lack of buy orders here. So order blocks are where there was a significant amount of sell orders that were able to get filled within that price range. This is there is a lack of buy orders that were filled because why? Like we weren't able to fill enough buy orders to continue the trend higher. So within this price range, because there's a lack of buy orders similar to fair value gaps, if we get in here, we fill sell orders, prices going again with the right context and confluences. Now same thing to the upside. Okay, so we're in a downtrend. That was horrible. If we're in a downtrend, this order block right here, right? This move down, it gave us the ability to fill a significant amount of buy orders, right? So this price range is where we were able to fill a significant amount of buy orders. The opposite is this breaker block, this move up, this retrace that failed to fill the amount of sell orders required for us to get a full extension and continue this downtrend. So what is there within here? A lack of sell orders. So if price comes back and retraces within this confluence and gives us buy orders out of it, and how do we see buy orders? Just buy a candle up. By the way, I don't think I mentioned that. We are likely going to see price continue up. Now, let's show an example of this on the chart. This. Okay, so look right here. Okay, we get a breaking structure to the downside, right? We don't have to go through all the steps, but get a breaking structure to the downside. Let's practice both order blocks and breaking blocks. So where's our order block? Order block, these two up candles, right? Up candles that cross the liquidity. Where's our breaker block? The down candle, the retrace prior, or the down candles, because it can be multiple, prior to price breaking structure and prior to the liquidity swing. So in this case, price doesn't.
I'm looking at what he's having right now. I like it. He's not counting these two. He's counting this right here. Right? According to him, according to what I'm looking at on this screen right now, because the thing is legitimately the almost exact same thing with a couple extra candles in the mix. This may very well be the exact same thing he's looking at. Just I think he's looking at this on the 30-minute. This is much, much smaller in detail. Much, 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 much smaller. This was happening a few days ago. This video was posted 6 days ago. This is 5 minutes. Each one of these is 5 minutes. A couple hours. He's looking at a couple days. Looking at this specifically, though, he's counting this. These two would be the order block that caused this down sweep, this liquidity sweep right here for this. This low was swept by this. As a result, boom, price dropped. This would have been the order block. This right here would have been the breaker block. According to what he said and what I'm understanding. Allow me to keep watching.
Fills the breaker. Following that, it ends up moving down. Okay, we actually just formed, or after these 11 minutes go by, we'll actually form a good example of this again on both of these. So look, we get a breaking structure to the upside. We already broke structure to the upside. We haven't officially confirmed this yet. Once this candle closes bullish, then it'll show that we're respecting these. But we have the candles down that cause the liquidity sweep. This is what? Our order block. And then we have the up candle prior to the liquidity sweep and prior to the break of structure. That is our breaker block. Okay. Let's show another example of
Breaker blocks are found before order blocks. Order blocks are found before liquidity sweeps. Liquidity sweeps are indicative of reversals. There is typically a break of structure before breaker blocks. I am wrong in saying that. Break of structures happen just before liquidity sweeps. We're in a downtrend is when a candle closure above the most recent high, one candle, not wick, solely body. Pay attention to the lows for break of structure to the downside, being okay. Punctuation first. Boom. Boom. Man. I was in a rush for no reason. Break of structures to the upside, meaning we are in a downtrend, is when we have a candle closure above the most recent high. We are in an uptrend. We're looking for a break of structure. Break of structure to the downside, meaning we're in an uptrend, is when we have a candle closure below the most recent low. To find a low, we would look at a move down and then move up. Here's our low between these two candles. Boom. In order to find the break of structure, it would need to be there. Or down, up. Here's our low. Our break of structure was on this candle. Boom. These are solid notes I've taken. Some of them are solid notes, others can be refined. Breaker structure is not when a wick stops at a higher high or lower low from the former candle pattern. The body alone indicates break of structure solely. It has to close below the most recent low on a wick in a uptrend to go back down. It has to close above the most recent high to go to a downtrend, or from an uptrend to a downtrend. I think I said that wrong. It's the body that indicates break of structure, not the wick. Yeah, you get the point. Retracement can happen between break of structure and the next identifiable trend. Nada. Higher time frame needs to be checked before using break structure on lower time frame. As confluence, it could be a retracement for the daily time frame. Again, these notes were taken years ago. This video I'm watching it was posted 6 days ago. I'm learning. We're learning. Learnt.
Again, I want you guys to be able to see these and notice these like the back of your fucking hand. This is a good example of only a breaker block getting filled. We get a break construction to the upside right here. Okay, where is our order block? It's this down candle right here. Where is our breaker block? It's this up candle prior to the liquidity sweep. Which one gets filled? The breaker blocks get, there's move down into the breaker block, it gets filled. Bullish candle out of it. Prices are moving higher. Now again, I know I keep saying this, but these conflicts.
For a breaker block to be filled, the candle wick would have to cross it after liquidity sweep. I think that's a fair note to point. It makes the most sense. Makes sense to me. I think the candle wick after the breaker block would need to go into the body for it to fill said breaker block. I think.
Influences really do mean nothing without context. So again, if you guys see a breaker block or an order block get formed, I don't want you guys just blindly going in and taking trades off of these things, because you will end up losing. But we are so close. We're literally 2 confluences away from having everything that we need to know in order to take profitable trades at the right time, on the right time frames, and to be able to read price action for what it is. Okay? We are so fucking close. We are almost there. Alright? So fucking close. Let's do our homework of marking out 5 order blocks in each direction, and let's do our homework of marking out 5 breaker blocks in each direction. And now let's get into equilibrium, which is another one of our continuation confluences. Okay, so order block and breaker blocks, as you guessed, are continuation confluences. Okay, these are continuation confluences. Why? Because we get a liquidity sweep first, then we get a break of structure, a change of direction, a change of the current trend that we're in, and then we see price continue the trend off of these confluences, off of these patterns. Okay, so next is going to be equilibrium. Equilibrium is going to be another continuation confluence, and then SMT is a confirmation confluence. And then from there, we'll be able to put all of this shit together and teach you guys how to take profitable trades. I'm super excited.
I think I want to end stream. Hang on. Why? You're still watching the video. You've got another 2 hours and 15 minutes left. Why are you stopping now? Because at the end of these, he's doing homework assignments. And I haven't really done those. Instead, what I've done is I've tried to identify the same trends on a lower time frame. It's the same building blocks on lower time frames to compensate for having to swap between multiple different time frames. though they can be found on every time frame regardless of where I am, I think it's best to split all the building blocks up into separate streams to show that I have done the homework and can confidently identify each one of them. This will further hone my ability to identify. This will further allow me to make a basis, a bias towards the chart when going in to find a trade. This will allow me to further hone my ability in reliably trading as a job. I will break this up into 5 streams, not streams, videos. I will spend an hour. I will spend 2 hours. I will spend multiple hours. Because that is what I intend to do, is I intend to make videos. Streams. I may have made a mistake earlier in this exact same stream stating I'd stream this kind of content. Let me make something clear. That is happening 1 time a week. 1 time. That is Wednesday. If you've been watching my Twitch streams, my Twitch account, my Twitch schedule, you'd see it changed. It changed this week, actually. This is the first stream I'm taking seriously of it, and as a result, I'm changing my schedule for the benefit of this and YouTube at the same time. I am streaming 2 days of my week, Monday and Friday, for video games. I'm streaming 1 time a week, Wednesday, for this specifically. Every single day will have a video. 1 video on Orb Plus. 5 days a week. Because I can't operate on weekends. The markets are closed. Can't do anything. You know what? I might say screw it and stream Saturday either way. Just to have a solid... We have this. Right? I think that's how I want to do it. That's how I have it set up. That is how it'll be done. I want to end stream now, though. I'm going to upload this stream to Orbs Vault. I'm going to cut out little bits and stuff and upload it to Orb Plus. It's going to be the longest video I've put to Orb Plus in a minute. I have not uploaded to Orb Plus in months. In a month, if I'm not mistaken. So, if you're interested in this kind of content specifically, go check out Orb Plus, the reaction orb on YouTube. Type it in, find my logo. I've already explained what logo it is. From there, you have my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you have, drop a follow. Head to Orbs Vault, subscribe. If you're new to watching me, or if you're new to watching TJR Trades, head over to the links found in my description for Twitch. In the channel description, there should be an icon. You can click on the red floating flaming eyeball over that little triangle. Yeah, click on that icon. Go to the links in that description. Find Orbs Vault. If you're interested in TJR Trades, the link to his channel and the video I am currently studying off of in the description of that video. I post on Orbs Vault and Orb Plus. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next stream.